All right, so February 15th, 2022, 5:33 p.m. Traffic Safety Advisory Committee meeting is going to begin. And we are recording this Zoom call for to be put on so that people can see it at a future date. And all is in attendance. All members are in attendance, right? Chris Keefe, Fire Chief Clark, Fred Cummings, Mary Porter, right? Is that all the members?
Tim, I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah, Tim Wheeler's not in here yet.
Yeah. And Anna
And
Crank.
yeah.
But if you have a quorum, you can begin.
Yeah, there is a quorum, right? We have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, is it up for a quorum, right?
I'm not really a member. I'm just your liaison.
Yeah, yeah. I'm the amateur at this too, so want to make sure we have. Yeah, there should be enough for a quorum. 1, 2, 3, 4 of us, right? 4 out of the
Well,
6.
Chief, I'm also a liaison from finance. I'm non-voting.
Right.
I don't know how that affects the quorum count, but
2, 3.
Well, I think you're a member, Mary. You're just a non-voting member.
exactly, right, okay.
So count Mary.
All right, so then we have 4 out of 6 then. Right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 to 6.
Yeah.
All right, so did everybody get a chance to look over the minutes from the last meeting that came out today?
Yes,
What do you want?
very, very impressive. Like, wow.
Yeah, pretty detailed.
Indeed.
Pretty detailed. So we'll approve the minutes from last month's meeting.
Oh, you're muted. You're muted, Chief. There you go.
I'll make a motion, Chief, that we accept those last month's meeting minutes.
Is there a second?
A second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. I think my computer is stalling. I think my internet connection is stalling in here. Is it coming over all right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah, my left screen is flashing, saying I'm losing connection. All right, so any new business? New business, the first thing, right? I've got to print out the agenda here. I got so many notes in front of me about the Jake break law that I don't know what I do with my new business or old business. I'm sorry, old business. Any old business that we want to talk about?
I have just one thing. It was actually brought up from last month. It was a sign request. You remember me talking about it. It was for Boylston Road. It was to move the speed limit signs. You remember that one?
Yep.
We never really talked about what we're gonna do with that. So that was still open from last month.
That was the one by Lincoln, right?
Yeah, just before, it's actually right at number, house number 15, the house just up from Steve's, the Bosselman's house.
Okay. And we're talking, that's the one that's coming, or I think it's what do they consider that there, north?
Yeah,
So it's the one coming down to the 5-way intersection, right?
yeah, it's actually on both of them. The one going up is right at their driveway.
Yeah,
That's where it changes right to 45 miles an hour.
yeah,
So they got people like the minute they cross the railroad tracks and head up through the intersection,
Yeah.
they're already barreling down because they can see the sign from there. So the talk was moving that beyond their driveway, which we could actually put it past Lincoln Road. There is an opening, and that's after the crest of the hill where it really kind of opens up. And then the opposite one, the inbound one, the 45, if I can remember my notes, is just before the crest of the hill, just before the stop sign ahead at Lincoln Road. And then it drops to 20 right at their driveway, right across the street from number 15. And
that's the sign we just have to send up to the select board, right?
Yeah, that's actually one of the things that I forgot to bring up last month in my department update meeting, was talking about those papers that I shared.
Yeah.
About seeing if they were gonna update or see what we're gonna do with those. And it really kind of goes in conjunction. I don't know if anyone else had looked at the email that Margaret sent out that had chapter 18B, I think it was. Yeah, chapter 90, section 18B, that kind of, as long as it's not on a state highway, which this one kind of is, we would have to adopt it in town, so we can change the regulations. And it's actually got some pretty decent wording in it, because there are a couple towns around Brookline. And it's basically wording into Boston. A lot of it has to do with around safety zones, which could also help around the center of town. As long as the town kind of declares it as a safety zone, they can set the speed limit for it. So this might actually help if the town adopts something like that, for like through Carterville and everything. But I think this one here still has to go through the state, because it is on Route 62. I have called several people from the state, and again, nobody calls you back. I just made another call earlier today and still have yet to hear back on a totally different subject. So that's still up in the air. I haven't heard from them, which is probably why we're sitting on that one.
Okay. So you need to talk to someone from Mass DOT?
Yeah, regarding that one, just because of where it's at.
All right, yeah, why don't we get together tomorrow and we'll make a call
All right.
and hopefully get through on that one.
Yeah, well, there was actually, there were several numbers that I've tried, but I'll bring them all down with me.
All right. All right. All right, so that's the only thing for old business, or you say you had another one?
Nope, that's all I had.
All right.
So on
Right.
that section 18B, is that something we want on the warrant by February 28 to, for the town to say, we're gonna operate under that section?
Well, I think a lot of it too, it referred to the MUCO, which is the Massachusetts Uniform Code. I've searched through the book and I can't find where they're talking about for the speed regulations, because there are steps, like we have to actually have like a speed study. There were several things that were part of it, but I've actually pulled the paper up. We can request from Mass DOT or a request for speed zoning, but it actually has to come from someone higher than myself.
Yeah. Do you want to look at this section 18B? I don't know if it'd be helpful to anybody else. I have the document. I have it open.
Yeah, I have it here. I can't really get it on the computer though.
Yeah, so there's a section 18 that requires that sort of traffic study. But
Yeah.
then this 18B gives you local authority to set the speed zones. It's not clear.
Mary, Mary, what's the chapter and section of that?
I have it open.
90?
It's chapter 90, section 18B. It's very
Okay.
short. I just looked at it. It's kind of new. It's like 2016 maybe or something.
Yeah, it was actually just adopted.
Yeah, so it's local rule with respect to the town roads. It wouldn't affect 62. The state highways are outside of it, right?
Right. That's how I'm taking it. So it would be anything in town, which would probably come to, we have another sign request for later. Yes, there it is.
Yeah, yeah. The state does a bad job of giving you things you can actually read.
Yeah.
Oh, that's better.
Oops.
And the city of Brookline had actually adopted it.
Yeah, yes, I think Margaret pointed us towards a copy of their warrant. So I have that in a file on my computer, that warrant.
Yeah. I think it would be a good idea if we did pursue it, because it doesn't say you have to do it, but in the future, it would give us the option to do it. with
Yeah,
what
that's
happened.
Right, that's my point. I think it's fairly unobjectionable sort of thing to put on a warrant. It's a
Yeah.
matter of just getting it done by the 28th.
Right.
Yeah, I don't see a issue with trying to get that on the warrant. It looks like it's just pretty much a copy and paste to put on the warrant.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yep,
That'll
and
keep the
we,
legal out.
we have the Brookline model if we want it on the warrant, because Margaret circulated that as well. Her email, the January 24. I think she had it, she had a link to it.
Yes.
I think we're all copied on it. I don't know about you, Mary. You might not be copied. I could forward it to you. If it's useful.
Yes, if you can hear me, yes.
I can hear you. Yep. I'll
Yeah,
forward
if you
it.
want to
over.
email that to me, I can put that up on the screen if you would like to look at it.
Uh,
I can email it to you right now.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
So,
Mary, was I copied on that email? Do you know?
No, it looks like you were not. She sent it to the Traffic Safety Advisory Committee members.
Okay,
So actually you probably should have been, but there it is.
And not the select board office either, yes.
That's correct. Yeah,
Okay, guys,
So-
Googling for my email and I can't see it, so, all right,
no, and I think Fred's got
There
it
it
coming
is.
your way. Yes.
stand by, here it is. Doo-doo.
So at the bottom of her email message, she has a link to the Brookline warrant. And so between section 18B and that Brookline model, we ought to, there ought to be a cut and paste sort of thing that could be done.
Chief, is this it?
That's actually what we did apparently back in 1980 and 81. But if you go into the actual email I sent you, on the bottom of the paragraph is the link.
Yeah, go in the text of her email.
This? Oh, this.
Right here.
The Brookline thing.
Hold on, Mary, we gotta eat our carrots. And there it comes. All right.
I have it up. That's not the one I want.
Oh, here it is. It's the authority to bring it down to 20 on specified roadways, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it gave them the ability to post it at a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit while also the ability to limit it down to 20-mile.
Oh, yeah, this.
Wrap up. Yeah, it looks like they made all their streets 25-mile-an-hour zones. And then in some zones, they just knocked it down to 20 rather than having flashing school lights. They just make it a 20-mile-an-hour zone all the time.
What is it, 20 right now in the center of town or 25?
25.
Chris, did you get a copy of this, Chris?
no. I wrote down the Mass General Law 90, Section 18. I mean, I just wanted to remind myself in case we wanted to put a placeholder.
Sure. And then, Chris, it's 18B is the local rule option.
Okay,
Section 18 is just generally what you have to do if you want to change speed limits in your town or city.
okay.
I did just forward that email to you, Chris, so you should have everything that we're talking about.
Okay, good.
But if you go under section 18, you have to do the speed studies and I think you still require the Massachusetts DOT approval. But if we enact the local rule under 18B, then we simplify that whole process.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
That's the way I'm reading it. Somebody, reasonable people differ on things like the Massachusetts general laws.
Yeah. Yeah, I took it the same way.
Good, Fred.
As confusing as they are to read.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get rid of the old way of doing it. So I said that one time that we really concentrated on trying to reduce the speed limit, we actually increased it by 20 miles per hour. So
Yeah.
I don't want to see that ever happen again. It was unfortunate.
Yeah, this 18B looks pretty promising, though. I can't see a reason not to do it.
Right.
All right, so on top of talking to Mass DOT tomorrow, Fred, maybe we'll figure out what we're gonna send upstairs, help out the board, maybe get it on the town meeting for the spring.
The warrant. Yep, we could do that.
Right, any other new business? Or, yeah, that was new business. No, that was old business, right?
Mhm.
All right, any other old business, or was that it? We'll move on to new business. Anybody have any new business? You said you had a sign request, Fred?
Yeah, I actually just got it probably like 2 hours ago. So this came from Ginny Zukatinsky right here on West Street. She would like to see a stop sign installed right across from the general store on Carter Street. There isn't one there now. And her reason for it would be our safety with all the new construction of homes on Highland Street, Whalers Hill, et cetera. I feel a stop sign is necessary for our safety in the center of town. So that's where that was. It originally came in through the website, the town website, Contact Highway. So I reached out to her and told her if she could actually put it on an official street sign request. And she dropped it off, like I said, 2 hours ago. So that came in. And the only thing right there really is just a crosswalk. We've never had a stop sign there because it's just like, it was always common that, you know, you come up, you automatically stop because you're gonna approach Route 62 traffic. So it would just be putting a sign up.
Yeah, I mean, that's also covered our CMR as well, that you have to, any road that leads to a state road, you have to stop at. It's covered in our CMR, but I understand where she's coming from. I mean, we do lack quite a few stop signs in the town,
Oh, yeah.
but, you know, it's optional, I guess, in some areas, but, you know, I have no issues. I mean, is that something that you guys want to vote on, or is that something, you want to hold off until next month, or
I can,
you have stop signs in stock?
oh, yes, we do.
Right.
Yeah, we could actually have it up before the end of this week.
Yeah.
The only thing we wouldn't get down would be a stop line, but you can either have the stop line or the sign. Either way, you still have to stop for it.
All right, do we even vote on that, or we just do it? Do we have to,
You all would sign a form, and if you're all present, you could all agree that you're gonna sign the form and then put it in one another's mailboxes. And then the TA signs off on a sign request, I believe, yes?
Yes, there is.
Or maybe I'm confusing that with a residential driveway, but
Nope, so this one here, we can either approve it, recommend with comments, or not recommend with comments. And then we just, the select board take action of it, and that's where it stands.
All right, so we'll do a motion to place a stop sign at Carter Street and Central Street, and somebody wants.
I'll
to-
make that motion.
Is there a second? All right, I saw Chief Clark say yes for a second. All right, all members in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, the ayes have it. Stop sign will go up. Fred, we'll get that circulated tomorrow as well for us all to sign.
Yep, I can actually, I'll bring it with me tomorrow. Because we actually don't have to sign off. I just checked off on the box. We reviewed it today. It was received today. And approval recommended, unless there's comments for it. Other than that, now it just goes to the select board.
Okay.
So I can put it in their box tomorrow morning.
All right. All right. Anybody else have anything that they received? I got an email, not a, I'll have the person fill out a sign request, but they'd like us to discuss the intersection of Randall Road and Peach Hill Road. Whether or not we put 2 stop signs in there, one on Peach Hill, one on Randall, or if you want to leave it the way it is. Traffic is increasing, I should say, as with the construction going on Highland Street, traffic's definitely increasing on Randall Road. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with that intersection. It's a question about who really has the right of way. It looks like Peach Hill's the right of way, but it's really Randall Road has the right of way. Yeah, I'd rather like to open up for discussion if anybody has any input on that intersection.
Yeah,
It is
just-
actually,
sorry.
sorry, go ahead.
It's
you
just gonna comment, the visibility is not good there.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna comment.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Usually-
yeah, my family was a victim of that intersection 16 years ago. Car came around the corner about 45 miles an hour and took out my wife. So, you know, as soon as the resident emailed me, I'm like, I've got empathy and sympathy for you. I lived it. I understand that whole intersection, you know. As we know, our unposted roads are 40-mile-an-hour zones. And with the golf course and the construction going on, and who knows what the future build's going to be on Randall Road. I see a for sale sign for land. You know, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to putting a stop sign at Peach Hill and a stop sign on Randall. Make it a 2-way stop. Or what do you think, Fred?
Yeah, I could agree with that, because definitely the trees right on the corner of that house really block a lot coming in.
Yeah, now I know a few years ago we cut, well, what, about 3 or 4 feet back on those evergreens on
Yeah,
the corner. And I know there was some little bit of apprehension about doing it, but you know, I think I'll get a written request and we can bring it up next meeting and discuss a little bit more, but just, you know, keep that in mind till the next meeting.
yep, we can do that.
Right, I should have brought this up during old business, because I know we did discuss Gates Pond Road and Coolidge Street, I believe, last meeting. I did call Mass DOT. I was fortunate, I did get through.
That's because you're the police chief.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of lucked out on that. The engineer told me he understands. He's been with DOT for quite some time. He has done traffic counts in there in the past. And I do believe he pulled it up the last time we did a traffic count, I think was around 2015. So he said we're overdue for a traffic count, and he said that they will be doing that late February, early March. Rotary is out of the question. It's too close to the intersection. Set of traffic lights. If another set of traffic lights, if that was to come about, we're looking at 5 years before the state can do it once it's approved. Their funding's about 5 years out. If the town of Berlin would like to do it, it's anywhere between 500,000 and 750,000 to put a set of lights in there. So yeah, I just want to bring that up. You know, hopefully we'll have more info, probably not till April's meeting. I'm hoping, but so be it. You know, at least we get another traffic countdown, see what are done, see what the difference is in traffic since the last time we've done it. But yeah, I don't think we'd be going to the town meeting asking for 750,000 to put up another set of traffic lights.
Well, we do have some ARPA money, but I think we have other priorities.
Yeah, that's one project. So
But by the way, I'm a victim of an accident at that site. Somebody pulled out of Gates Pond, and
yeah,
I had
Yeah.
a car totaled there, went and caught on fire.
yeah. Yeah, we've definitely seen an increase in accidents down there, and I think that that's why Mass DOT is more than willing to come out and help us. Because that's ultimately, once they enter 62, that's in their territory. So the accidents aren't happening on Gates Pond, they're happening on 62.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
It ought to be a no left-hand turn, lane, by the way.
Yeah, we discussed that. I know through talking to the engineer, he went through his notes. And the last time they did a study, it was overwhelmingly against, the residents were overwhelmingly against doing a right turn only. And he said the other issue you have with right turn only is there is no place to reverse your direction other than just stopping 200 feet up the road and trying to loop through the gas station or go up to BJ's and loop back around. He says there is no easy way to reverse direction, which is another concern of theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that's it. So next on, does anybody have anything else? All right, so the next one is excessive noise from compression brakes. Did everybody get the little itemized, the little write-up that I did earlier today about that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, guess everybody's on mute. So I looked over quite a few of them. A lot of them ban complete use. I'm not, and obviously talking with the fire chief today, and I know that our DPW trucks are equipped with engine brakes, but they don't make the noise of what we're actually aiming to go after. It's more of the customized engine brakes, I think you would say. Is that right, Fred?
Yeah, I think the real problem are like the short road haulers, the dump trailers you'll see come through town or some of the 10-wheel trucks. They modify them because, they want to be big trucks. So they put these big old pipes on them. So when theirs kick on, they literally bark. And that's what's making a lot of the noise. But if you get like one of the trucks like JB Hunt or anyone like that, it's more of a flutter because it's just, it's an exhaust brake. So as those start chattering, the more cylinders that kick in, that's what really makes them bark. So that's what I think the big problem is, because a lot of the ones, they're just local haulers from the next town over, a few towns around. And you can see them. They're just like straight pipes. The bigger, the better they go by.
Yeah, so when I wrote this up, that's what I kept in mind. Obviously, NTSB has put engine brakes on trucks for a reason. And for us to ban something that the federal government deems as a safety device for these large trucks, I think would be stretching it too far. That's why I wrote up the way I did write it up, that basically it's just excessive noise from compression brakes prohibited versus banning all engine/Jake brakes. Because I talked to the fire chief earlier, our fire trucks have them as well. I'm sorry, fire engines, right? I don't want to misstate that. But our fire apparatus is equipped with them, so.
And just to clarify, if we have a bylaw in town of Berlin, it has no impact on Route 62, does it? Is that correct or not?
That is something, reading through these, I am not 100% positive. I know we maintain Route 62 from, and that's the reason why I put in all the roads that the town of Berlin maintains. We maintain everything except for a 400-yard stretch around Route 495, but everything else we maintain. So I think that was the most appropriate way without dealing with state routes and state labeled highways to go in there and state what the town of Berlin maintains.
Well, I'm certainly game to put it out there and let somebody challenge it if they think we're wrong.
Yeah, because we actually have to file a permit with Mass DOT to do work around Route 62. So if we're like trimming brush or anything like that, even though it's a state road, it's maintained by us. So we still have to hold a permit to do work on the road.
Yeah, we do all the chapter 90. We book all the accidents for Route 62 other than that one stretch, but 90% of the time we end up booking them because there's no state police available to come out for those accidents, so. Yeah, I did put it, the violation would be subject to a fine of $250. Some are 200, some are 300, some are 100. I just know that what it cost us, on average, it probably costs us almost $200 if somebody appeals something and we have to pay people 4 hours to come back in, for an appeal process. So I just want to make sure that we are definitely covering our costs. Plus, obviously, if we're going to be doing the parking tickets, I think we can do, well, we already have the bylaw tickets in the cars, but once we do the parking, hopefully we can put the two together. And so it's going to be a fee for reprinting new citations as well. But, that's why I put in there, it's up for debate. I mean, what everybody thinks. Like I said, reading through these schedules of fines from all these other communities, it can go anywhere from $100 to $300 per violation.
So let me ask about the public vehicles. We just don't enforce if it's a public vehicle. If it's Fred's truck, we don't enforce it. What are we doing?
Well, that's the difference in this bylaw. This bylaw is the excessive noise. The excessive noise you get are from modified vehicles. Our trucks are stock out of the factory.
Got it.
I haven't seen the DPW or the firefighters out there with welders and torches and cutting stacks off and putting on 12-inch stacks. So I think that we should have that pretty well covered.
You haven't given them enough time yet.
Yeah, I
They're
know,
too-
right?
We're 250.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what the wording is going to be for the signs? Or how you want that worded?
But what, for the fine?
No, because we're going to have to post this.
Oh, yeah. So one of these things has all entry roads into the town of Air are posted.
You want to use the same wording? Where they went ahead and said, attention truckers, use of engine brakes within town limits prohibited, punishable by the fine.
Yeah, but I think we'll have to do excessive noise from engine brakes.
All right.
So that's gonna be another, because how many signs we're gonna need? A dozen? You count the roads, Fred?
I think he's frozen.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he is too.
Oh,
Yeah, like I say, I'm having the same issue with my computer, so I think it's Spectrum or Charter, whatever it is, per Charter, right? Yeah.
Charter and Spectrum are the same.
Yeah, is it? Okay. I'm fortunate to have Comcast at the house, but yeah, something's like even my second screen is still locking up on me. All right, so nobody else here. I'm sure Fred will be back with us in a minute, but anybody else have any wording or looked at anything that maybe they would want to add versus excessive noise from compression brakes? You want to?
Fred's back.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. The computer's just not playing nice tonight.
Yeah.
So we're on the phone now.
you don't know how long we sat here waiting for you to answer a question, Fred, before we realized.
I thought you were looking at a map, counting the number of roads and number of signs we're going to need for every road.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
All right, what was your question?
How many signs do you think we'll need for all the roads? 12? How many entry roads are there? It's like 12?
I can't fathom putting them up on like Linden Street coming in from Boylston, because we don't really get many trucks coming in on like that road, but I can see definitely Route 62 both ways. Yeah, even coming in from Bolton on Highland Street, maybe like put one like partway down the hill.
Yeah,
you know, because where all the construction's being done at a certain point.
yeah,
I mean, we certainly can do each road coming into town. But that would definitely get expensive.
yeah.
Well, yeah, Fred, Chief Shartner, while I was waiting for Fred to come back, I pulled out a little map and I think we have 15 roads that come and go out of Berlin, something like that. So if you
Yeah,
put it
so,
road, that would be your count. It's roughly rough count.
yeah, so definitely their primaries and secondaries will need it,
Right.
Yes.
but I'm not sure Bellevue is gonna need one coming in from Northborough.
God, I hope not.
I don't think the road's wide enough to put a sign up anyways, so.
No.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll, I'll definitely take a look at it, see where the majority of them can be put.
All right, so I know what I put up there. Does anybody think it should be a prohibit them exclusively? I mean, we can change this. This is up for debate. You know, this isn't the final draft. I mean, we can change it. I've got it up on my computer right now, so I can change it as we speak.
I like it. I think it does the job. Now that you explained the difference between the stock equipment and the modified equipment. I think it does. Yeah. And I like the fine to be significant because otherwise it has no impact.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at the fine, I look at covering costs. And, you know, even though we're not a business, we still operate within budgets and we need to cover our costs of doing business, so.
Makes FinCom happy.
All right, so I can move this up. I'll delete the up for debate and the question mark. Everything else in the bottom. And now we'll just leave it the way it's written. Violation would be subject to a fine of $250, right? All right.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna, somebody want to make a motion to approve that and we'll forward it upstairs for next week's meeting, I believe. Mary, is that correct?
The board, well, Peg Stone's listening in the audience and she's already added Ginny Zakatinsky's stop sign request to Tuesday's agenda. So Fred, just leave that in our mailbox. And then if you're gonna have the other one ready, Chief,
I'm just deleted some things off of it and made a final and I'll shoot it off to you right now.
Peg hears everything. So we can add that one to the list for Tuesday too.
Yeah, I'll make that motion if you want that to come as a motion.
Yeah. Let me get a second it.
A second.
All right, all members in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Anyone opposed?
Aye.
All right, so the ayes have it. I'm gonna send it upstairs. Actually, I'll send it to everybody else as well. The final draft just takes off some of my notes. And we'll send it upstairs and be ready to go. All right, I just sent it to Mary, so that the portion is done. And any other business to bring up tonight? No? Make a motion to adjourn.
Well, I don't know if Peg had something.
Oh, does Peg have something? You want to promote her up? There you go.
Hey all, there was just a note from a lady who lives in the center of town. She was concerned about the Jake break. She was just concerned about the speed of the trucks, you know, obviously right by the old cemetery. And was wondering, and Eric, you've talked about this before, and I think Chief Clark, you did too, about the yellow blinking light that absolutely no one pays attention to anymore. And, you know, if that could eventually somehow be triggered, so when fire's going through, police, the ambulance, that could actually go to red.
Yeah, that light has been non-functional since I think 2002. We moved in here in 2000, June. July, we had our first lightning strike, and that light went out. And then I think we had another one 3 weeks later. After it was fixed, it went out again. And I think after 2 years of doing it, there's some grounding issue between the station and the light that is causing that. But I believe that if we just take out our controller out of our console, we can control that light from, or we used to be able to control that light from inside the station. I think if we have a company disconnect that, we're going to get rid of the grounding issue, and then the light could actually be effective again. But I'm not sure. Chief Clark could probably answer better on the public safety aspect with the, I forgot what you call that system with a blinking light to activate it.
Yeah, you, speaking of the Opticon system, chief,
Yeah, that's it.
it activates it as you approach a
Yeah.
a
I was
light.
thinking Omicron. I just couldn't think of Opticon. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
effective system.
Yeah, so I think what we have to do is, obviously, and that leads into money and possibly, I'm not sure where we're gonna end up financially with that intersection, but I know that has been an issue since day one being in this building. It draws lightning for some reason.
Okay, Eric, I'll get back to her and just let her know that unfortunately, it's not a one and done type of question and answer, that it needs a little bit more investigation work, but it is on your guys' radar, and you'll let us know when you can.
Yeah, I'll add that with the meeting with Freddie tomorrow.
Okay, cool. And the Jake break is up on the agenda as well. So if anyone wants to come, it's under new business. You're more than welcome. Let me know, and we'll boot you up to the big table to chat about it if you have any questions.
Yeah, now I'm not gonna be able to meet on the 20th. When's your next meeting? The 22nd?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm not gonna actually be available to go to that meeting, so I don't know if somebody else wants to pick up for the Traffic Safety Advisory Committee, or if you want somebody there. I can't guarantee that I'll be there. It's a possibility, but I can't guarantee I can be there.
It's fine. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, Chris is there as your liaison, so we can pull her in. And if there's questions, then we'll just send out a note and ask you or Fred or Chief Clark to come to the following week for like 0.3 seconds to talk about it.
Yeah, I can definitely do the following week. I'll fully disclose it's my other half's birthday.
Aw.
Happy
So,
birthday.
Yes,
yeah,
priorities,
so-
Eric, priorities. Happy wife,
Yeah.
happy life.
Yeah, so I definitely can't say I will be there on the 22nd, because I'm not sure exactly where I'm gonna be, so.
Okay, no worries. It's on there. If we have any questions, we'll give you a shout, but otherwise, the three of us will talk about it and then vote and let you know.
All right, perfect, sounds good.
Cool. All right, thanks all. Appreciate your help.
Yeah, and if anybody's like a gambler, it's 2/22/22.
Yeah,
When does that?
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
yeah, nothing but
Here's
twos. I wouldn't try playing Powerball with all twos, but yeah, that's not gonna work out too well, but. All right, so yeah, that's it, right? Nothing else on the agenda?
One quick thing, I can actually forward off to everyone in the group. It was an email I got today. The Shared Streets and Spaces Grant is opening up. Applications can be submitted by March 1st. And they're actually stressing, it says MassDOT is placing particular emphasis this round on projects focused on the management of vehicular speeds through design and inventions. Through speed management, up to 200,000 in grant funding can be requested to implement eligible improvements. Some of the improvements do include speed humps, cushions, tables, raised center medians, raised intersections or crosswalks, more speed feedback signs. Thank you. And then another example that we could use it for would be newer significantly widened sidewalks, which obviously would benefit Carterville, or new and improved pedestrian crosswalks such as new paint, which I plan to put in for that part. But that's just something that I printed off, highlighted some stuff, and I'll forward that off to the group so you can read more about it. And if you have any ideas, maybe we can put some together for that.
Yeah, I think that, you know, you hit the nail on the head there, right there. Alls I thought was Carterville with speed trays, you know, and crosswalks in the center and whatnot. You know, maybe even try to go for those pedestrian lights with the push buttons
We actually already have those.
that are permanently mounted.
We actually, that's one of the things that came about with the traffic study that was done up in the center of town.
Okay,
The money, I think Chief Galvin was the one that pursued it, but we have all the equipment. We just never had time coming into the fall to actually mount them. And the tough part is where we're gonna put the one there at the cemetery, because you can't really stick it right in the sidewalk.
yeah,
But we do have ideas for the ones right up by the general store.
okay.
It would
Oh,
just
so
mean,
we do have the permanent mounted equipment for the intersection, not the little solar power blinking lights.
Yep.
Always blinking.
the push button activated, that style.
Yeah, because I think that was brought up at the coffee talk. And
Yeah.
yeah, I had no idea they were even in.
Yeah, I
Right.
believe we have four, or we have 4 posts anyway.
Or so we have two crosswalks we can cover with it.
Which will take the place of those blinking ones that are constantly blinking.
Oh, that's good to know.
So that's a spring.
All right. All right, so if that's it, nobody has anything else, then we can make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Are we gonna second that?
I can
Second.
second that for you, chief.
All right. All those in favor of adjourning this meeting, say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, meeting's adjourned. Oh, let's, before we do that, let's set up next month's meeting. Almost forgot to set up a meeting for next month. Well, March 15th falls on the same date. Same as today, March 15th for the next meeting at 5:30. Any conflicts?
Oh, my phone. Oh, I'm using it. I believe. Same time?
Yeah, you know, do the same time, 5:30 seems to work for everybody.
Yep.
All right. Mr. Wheeler was very quiet today. It's good to see you anyways. All right. All right, so see you guys on March 15th at 5:30 for the next meeting.